NFL. Missed a 24-yarder, nailed a 21-yarder, and this will be for the game.
And the one he missed, he pushed right. I was watching him in pregame warm-ups.
You said he pushed about 8 of them right.
Probably 5 or 6. He wasn't coming all the way through. Just kind of leaving it out there. It's like a golf swing. You got to follow through, but I don't think there's any way Al Del Greco misses 2 chip shots in one game.
Del Greco, 17 years in the National Football League, 38 years old.
And how about the Steeler defense that has played almost a perfect game until this last drive? Right where Bill Cowher wanted them. The lead with your defense on the field.
This from 30 yards. The Titans have never lost in this building. And Coach Cowher and the Steelers decide to call a timeout and make Del Greco think about it a little bit. Don't forget, coming up next, the NFL rolls on here on CBS, Denver at the New York Jets or Kansas City at Oakland. Is there any strategy in this situation?
Well, you just saw it right there. Steelers saved that last time out to try to freeze Del Greco. Now, usually that wouldn't freeze a veteran kicker like Al Del Greco. But since he's already missed a chip shot today, I'm sure that's running through his mind. I think that's what Bill Cowher was thinking. He's missed one. Let's let him think about it just a little bit longer. And Gus, the other opportunity is a lot of times you can get a block if you can pull a guy down through that gap and shoot another guy through. Sometimes outside, watch to see if the Steelers try to pull down and shoot somebody through. It's illegal if you do it, but sometimes the officials don't catch it. And this do-or-die situation, what do you have to lose?
Somebody has to step up and make a huge play for the Steelers defense if they're going to win this game.
And watch.
So Del Greco lines it up. Hendrick is holder. Matthews the snapper. It's down. Up. And good. And the Tennessee Titans take a 9-7 lead with 4 seconds to go. Unofficially, a 29-yard field goal for Al Del Greco.
Watch Dwayne Washington coming from the right side of your screen. Just a half an arm short. Got back there. Del Greco got it off. Put it right down the middle.
So it looks like Coach Fisher and the Titans will remain undefeated here in Nashville. On the other sideline, Bill Cowher. Heartbreaking to see that ball go through the uprights.
And all week, both teams said it was going to be a slugfest, decided in the fourth quarter. That's what Bill Cowher had said to us. He just wants to be in position to win. And the Steelers were in position to win.
The executive producers of the NFL on CBS, Sean McManus and Terry Ewert. Today's game produced by Robert Herman Monsbach, directed by Steve Milton. So Hendrick lines it up. Line drive kick. Steelers need a miracle. Bobby Shaw throws it back to Hines Ward. Ward drops the ball. It's picked up, and that's the game. Well, it's still alive. And that's the game. The Tennessee Titans reach deep down and come up with a 9-7 win. So for Brett Jones and Marcus Allen, This is Gus Johnson saying so long from Nashville, where the final score is Tennessee 9, Pittsburgh 7. Coming up next, stay tuned for Game 2 of our doubleheader, where you will see the Broncos at the Jets or the Chiefs take on the Raiders. Del Greco, the star. You've been watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 35. Jim Nantz after this break.
This is an ordinary cell phone. This is Nextel, and it's going to change the way you do business thanks to Direct Connect. Its digital two-way radio feature. Frank? Not yet. It ensures instant contact. Bridget?
Got it.
Costs a fraction of cellular.
Just had.
And it makes other cell phones
Ready now.
obsolete.
Direct Connect from Nextel. How business gets done.
Nextel proudly uses Lucent Technologies.
You just bring your own today? Oh, yeah. Got teeth. Yep. 36 of them. Big things will tear through wood.
It's the National Hardware Sale at Sears, where you'll find these limited edition Craftsman power tools just $59.99 each.
Hey, fellas, check this out.
The National Hardware Sale, only at Sears.
There's a little town where people work just once a week. And all the locals know your name.
Hey, see? Junior, the usual? You know it.
This town's called NFL.com, and you can be there with the new Smart Visa cards with remarkable chip technology. Because with Visa, you can buy anything from NFL.com, where they don't take American Express, not even Blue.
All right, go get it. Oh.
Wow, what a stretch this has been. Jim Nantz with you. NFL Today studios in New York. Mike Ditka and Craig James are alongside. And again, our doubleheader continues. For many of you, it'll be Kansas City at Oakland. Others, Denver at the Jets. And some will see San Diego seeking a first win, taking on Seattle. Mike and Craig, let's run through the scores real quick. Miami jumped in front here real quick. 17-0 at halftime. Rode the legs of Lamar Smith today. 123 yards, 2 touchdowns. Chicago ends a 5-game home losing streak. And the Bears were in front 27-0, then just held on. The Colts got sacked in Chicago territory in the final minute, trying to come in and somehow tie it or win it. And meanwhile, Buffalo and New England, they're in the overtime right now, just getting it started. We'll keep you posted on that game. Tennessee wins behind a 29-yard field goal by Del Greco with 4 seconds remaining. Meanwhile, Baltimore got 3 touchdown passes by Dilfer. 2 of them went to Shannon Sharp today. Giants, well, in this game, Amani Toomer caught 2 Collins touchdowns. Dallas and Philadelphia, what's been the story in this game, Craig?
Well, really, in that ball game, it's the fact that they were able to run the ball behind Emmitt Smith, and the offensive line controlled it.
It looks like that game's going to overtime. Akers just kicked a field goal for the Eagles with 11 seconds to go. Meanwhile, the Saints got Blake really hot today, 3 touchdowns. Ricky Williams hot again. And Keyshawn caught 2 scores. Sean King threw 3 in all as the Bucs improved to 5-4. We'll see you back on the NASDAQ.com halftime report. The doubleheader continues in just a moment on CBS.
Thank you for watching this presentation of the National Football League on CBS Sports, home of Super Bowl 35.
The Fugitive, Fridays on CBS. It's all here.
We've come a long way in West Virginia, but we're not done yet, and I need your help. One more time.
You can see West Virginia in the face of Robert Byrd, and he's certainly left his mark on the face of West Virginia.
I cannot think of anyone that he has not touched in one way or another.
Senator Byrd's vision is really paying off.
Hundreds of miles of new highways, thousands of new jobs, millions in new investment, cutting-edge research, and the best quality health care, including new and expanded facilities for veterans.
We're so blessed in West Virginia to have someone like Senator Byrd.
Senator Byrd has provided opportunities to people in my generation to remain here in the state of West Virginia.
The people demonstrated their faith in me, and I've got to prove to them that their faith and their trust were not in vain.
Robert Byrd for West Virginia.
I'm Bob Wise, and I believe that working together, we can build a better future for West Virginia.
I'll lead the fight for better education that teaches real job skills. Work hard to create good-paying jobs, putting local workers, our people, first. And I'll make sure we care for our parents and grandparents by taking on the big drug companies and lowering the cost of prescription drugs. I'll be a governor who will fight for you every day. You can count on it.
To the following presentation of the National Football League from CBS Sports, home of Super Bowl 35.
First Sunday in November, we welcome you to Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The New York Jets will try to hold on to a share of first in the AFC East against the Denver Broncos. Brian Griese is one of the superb young guns in the NFL. The Jets' Vinny Testaverde, one of the best of the veterans. Their duel in the Meadowlands is next.
Shannon Sharp, please. Has always talking trash.
Japan, baby!
He's always trying to get inside your head.
Seahorse, you don't know your elbows from your...
And sometimes, he can get downright nasty.
I bet you pay transaction fees on your mutual funds. Your mama pays full commission. You know how to calculate a P/E ratio?
Want to learn about smarter investing?
How diversified is your portfolio? You can't even spell Dow Jones.
Visit us at schwabwelcome.com, where every investor is welcome.
P/E ratio. You divide the stock price.
You bring so joy. Man, what rhymes with elation?
Creation. Temptation. Dividend reinvestment participation. Market capitalization. European market fluctuation. Assets allocation. What?
If you want to learn about smarter investing, visit us at schwabwelcome.com, where every investor is welcome.
Too many syllables?
As we get set to get underway, the Miami Dolphins have already won. The New York Jets need a victory to keep pace with the Dolphins in the AFC East, while in the West, it was a mediocre first half of the season for the Broncos. They need to make a move in order to stay close to Oakland and Kansas City. Greg Gumbel along with Phil Simms and Armin Katayan. Welcome to Giant Stadium, everyone. The Jets and the Denver Broncos get set to kick it off here. The Broncos have won the toss. They have elected to receive. John Hall will kick it away. Delta O'Neal is deep for the Broncos, and this one will sail into and out of the end zone. First and 10 for the Broncos at their own 20-yard line, and Brian Griese onto the field. He drives the NFL's third-best offensive machine. He completes more than 63% of his passes, 16 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions, and there is no question he has been playing well, Phil.
He's been playing very well, Greg, but the story with Brian Griese today is mentally. How does he handle the fact that he was under a lot of strain this past week? The DUI charge, driving under the influence, a week ago on Saturday. So that's a lot for a quarterback to deal with. He says it's not a distraction.
His coach, Mike Shanahan, feels that he will handle it well. Play fake on first down, and he goes deep down the middle for McCaffrey. Batted in the air and incomplete. Aaron Glenn was there on the coverage in midfield. The Denver offense looks like this. One new face of note on the Broncos offensive line. Second-year guard Lenny Friedman starts for veteran Mark Schlereth, who had knee surgery.
The backs and wide receivers, Terrell Davis back in the backfield. He says he's healthy. Rod Smith and Ed McCaffrey, the wide receivers, they're underrated but extremely productive.
So it's second and 10 now, and Mike Anderson has come onto the field on second down. He's in motion, Griese to throw again. Dodgers one tackler on the move, has his man to the far side, and that's Rod Smith down the sideline and out of bounds. It'll be first down Denver. The New York Jet defense, the front three of the 3-4 defense, Rick Lyle, Jason Ferguson, Shane Burton.
The Jet linebackers, they are the key to this defense. They're fast, but what sets them apart from everybody else is how big they are.
And in the secondary, Chris Hayes, number 30, gets the start at the controversial free safety position for the New York Jets. Al Gross says, I'd really like to see not so many deep passes completed in our secondary. The handoff to Terrell Davis, and he is knocked down by Chris Hayes, who comes up from the free safety slot for his first stop.
Well, what he would like to see, Greg, a couple things. Not deep passes against the safeties, and also he'd like to stop the rotation of the safeties. Always looking for somebody that can come in and make plays. But watch right here. You see Chris Hayes, he times it perfectly with the snap of Brian Greasy, the cadence, and that enables him to come up to the line of scrimmage, unblocked, and make a tackle in the backfield.
Loss of 2 on the play, 2nd and 12. Davis again left side. This time a little running room out to midfield and out of bounds. Run out there by the cornerback, Marcus Coleman. And all eyes are on number 30 today to see if he has regained any of that form that just hasn't been coming his way this year.
Well, I got the answer for you already. Yes, he's got the form back. Watching Terrell Davis on that carry, to me, he looked quicker than I've seen him look all year long. And I've seen almost every one of the games when he's carried the football, coming off a knee surgery. He has not been sharp. 5 weeks off, though. You can tell his legs are fresh, and nothing is bothering him so far.
Greasy to throw. This side, completed, and not much there for Dwayne Carswell.
It's close. It's going to be about a half a yard short. Mike Shanahan doesn't hesitate, sends in the punting team.
So on 4th and 1, Tom Ruin comes onto the field to kick it away. Ruin averaging a 41.3 yards a kick, and his career average is at 44. Dietrich Ward stands at his own 10-yard line.
Kicking into the wind, which is fairly strong at this point.
Terrible kick, bounces at the 25. Inside the 20, and comes to a stop at about the 17-yard line. 31-yard punt, no return. He'll take a timeout and come back to the Meadowlands. 12:24 to play in the first.
Okay, let's do it. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4, 5 potatoes, 6 potatoes, 7 potato more.
Enter Southwest Airlines, take your team to the Super Bowl sweepstakes, and you could win a free trip to the big game for you and 10 friends.
My mother said to pick the very best one, and you are not it.
Now, how you choose them, that's up to you.
For details, visit Southwest.com or any gate at Southwest Airlines, the official airline of Super Bowl 35.
Looking to save more and spend less this holiday season? With the Chrysler Holiday Sale, you can do just that. Because now you can save over $2,300 when you buy a new 2001 Town & Country LX with 4.9% financing. Or choose up to $3,000 cash allowance when you buy a new 2000 Chrysler minivan. So take advantage of the Chrysler Holiday Sale today for savings that let you spend more on a real holiday priority, yourself.
Our first lesson this morning will be the sit and stay command. And say sit, stay,
This dog's in big trouble.
Buy online, return to the store.
No problem.
BestBuy.com. It wasn't that easy.
A letter marked urgent usually means someone is in urgent need of your money, and no one plays that game better than politicians. 60 Minutes tonight.
Vinny Testaverde at quarterback for the New York Jets, an amazing number that you and I have been talking about the last couple of days, Phil. Since Vinny has quarterbacked the Jets in games he has started and finished, he is an amazing 19-2. First down for the Jets from their own 17. Testaverde to go deep, down the far side. It is incomplete off the hands of Lavernius Cole, the rookie out of Florida State. Ray Crockett with him, stride for stride. The Jet offense, a strong offensive line, anchored by Pro Bowl center Kevin Mawae, making his 100th consecutive start, his 41st as a Jet.
And as you look at the back-end receivers, there's no question Curtis Martin, number 28, is the key for the New York Jets.
Each offense goes deep on its first play from scrimmage. The difference, the Jets going with the wind. second down. Curtis Martin carries on the right side, and there's not much there at all. John Mobley and Keith Traylor combining to make the stop. Look at the Denver defense. Tanavasa, Traylor, Price, and Pittman up front. Trevor Price, 7 sacks to lead the Denver team.
And as you look at the linebackers, the key to those linebackers, number 53, Bill Romanowski.
The secondary totals 11 interceptions coming in. 3 have been returned for touchdowns. Buckley, Jenkins, and Crockett have tallied those. Defensive coordinator Greg Robinson on the far side, looking on at 3rd and 7. It's set for Birdie to throw. With time, over the middle, incomplete. And we take our first check of the day from Jim Nantz in New York. Jim.
Seconds ago in Foxborough, Steve Christie, 32 yards away for the Bills for the win. And he drills it after hitting a 48-yarder at the end of regulation to send it to OT. Christie, the hero, and the Bills are 5-4. Let's go back to Greg and Phil.
All right, Jim. On 4th down, Deltha O'Neill deep for the punt from Tom Tupou. Booms it out of there. O'Neill all the way back to his 10-yard line and circles to the 25. And just across the 30 where he has met after a 65-yard punt, a 16-yard return, and we'll come back to the Meadowlands in just a moment.
Looking to save more and spend less this holiday season? With the Chrysler Holiday Sale, you can do just that. Because now you can save over $5,100 when you buy a new 2000 Concorde LX with 0% financing. Or choose a low $259 lease on the award-winning 2001 Sebring LX sedan. So take advantage of the Chrysler Holiday Sale today for savings that let you spend more on a real holiday priority, yourself.
Second order HBO, right?
Yes, sir. Actually, 7 of them.
So it's got a pretty clear picture then?
100% digital quality.
Football?
Up to 13 NFL games every Sunday if you want them.
I love you.
I know, sir.
Now get free professional installation when you buy a DirecTV system and sign up for Total Choice programming.
Hi.
Hey guys, give me a hand carrying this stuff up to the 3rd floor?
Love to, but we're late for this thing.
Yeah, sorry. That's cool.
You know, those stairs are kind of tricky. Yeah. Oh, I got this. That's it. Mind if we help ourselves to some of your underwear?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
I don't need you guys to help me unpack.
Make it a Bud Light.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. Monster.com for work, life, possibility. And by Chrysler, we're reinventing the passion for driving.
Welcome back to the Meadowlands, and welcome to all of you who watched Buffalo defeat the New England Patriots in overtime, 16-13. Greg Gumbel, Phil Simms, Armin Katayan at the Meadowlands. We have no score with just under 11 and a half to play in the first quarter, and Denver with a first down. Terrell Davis, left side, breaks through to the 40, 42, maybe the 43-yard line, and a first down. And let's take our first check of the day downstairs with Armin Katayan. Armin.
Thanks, Greg. You know, Mike Shanahan, as we've known, is so upset about that loss to Cincinnati. He put his team in practice in pads for the last couple of weeks. The person who wasn't complaining about it was Terrell Davis, who said he really needed that tackling practice and the hitting during practice to really battle test that ankle. And as you've noted, Phil, he said he told us yesterday this is as good as he's felt in 2 years. Back to you, Greg.
Thanks, Armin. Interesting to hear Terrell Davis say that he's always nervous before a game, and he figured to be so today. Davis to the right side, cracking through to the 46-yard line.
Well, that run right there, Greg, we did not see that in a couple games we've done before for the Broncos. And I think the thing you got to remember about an athlete, especially a guy that is fine-tuned as Terrell Davis is, he set out a year. When you come back, no matter how hard your rehab and all the work you do, you're not going to be football sharp. And a good example of that, Vinny Testaverde on the other side. You come back, you might feel good, but you're not going to have those sharp senses that you need to be a productive football player.
Davis again, left side this time. To the 48, maybe the 49-yard line.
Now, you look at this Denver offense today, and what did Brian Griese tell us last night? He says, well, in all the years that he's been there, it's his third year, he thought this was the toughest game plan Mike Shanahan had presented to them. And that means a lot of learning, a lot of new stuff in the run game and in the pass game. And for a quarterback to say that, that means that Coach Shanahan, those 2 weeks, he's going to put in or do whatever it takes to win this game today.
3rd and 4. And with 2 tight ends, Griese drops back, throws, McCaffrey over the middle, first down yardage and more. Inside the 40, close to the 35-yard line, and a first down for the Denver Broncos.
Well, that's a good job. That's something, you know, every week we talk so much about it. What do the Broncos like to do? Eddie McCaffrey's over here. He waits. Look at that. The tight end clears it out. He comes underneath. Nobody can fight their way through the defenders or the offensive players. And that's why Eddie McCaffrey is wide open right here.
Ed McCaffrey almost lost the handle on the football. Watch as he takes the hit.
Oh, good job by Aaron Glenn coming from behind, almost knocking it out.
First down from the 35. Griese with all kinds of time. Now to the near sideline and out of bounds is Dwayne Carswell. What a terrific job by the Bronco offensive line blocking up front.
Well, there's a couple things on that play. You know, Greg, you talked about the safety position on the New York Jets. Al Groh, very upset about the big pass plays and gains they have been giving up. So the safeties are going to be back there. But look at the time Brian Griese has. What's impressive there, nobody came open deep after all that time for the receivers to move around.
There is the first-year head coach of the New York Jets. From the 36. Griese, near side. That's caught and out of bounds is Travis McGriff, number 83, the second-year man out of Florida.
What a throw by Brian Griese. Remember, this is going into the wind, but watch the coverage Aaron Glenn has on Travis McGriff on the outside. All over him. Reaches up there. Good job on McGriff making the catch.
And on 3rd and 3, number 85, Robert Brooks makes an appearance, recovering from a hamstring injury. He is one of 4 wide receivers on 3rd down here. Over the middle, complete, and enough for the first down. The catch is made by McGriff. So Griese picking his targets quickly, and it's another Broncos first down.
Well, that, Greg, so that's Robert Brooks, number 85, coming across the middle. Look at this. Ray Mickens is on him. Now, when you blitz, the defense blitz that time, there's going to be nobody in the middle to help out the corner. That time, Ray Mickens, you have him all over the field. You got to try to stay with him.
Brian Griese has completed 6 straight passes now as he's moved the Broncos to the New York Jet 23-yard line.
When you play the Broncos, they are going to throw a lot of short passes right over the middle of receivers crossing.
Nothing there for Davis on the left side. Maybe a yard. We call it 2nd and 9.
You know, Greg, I remember the last time we did the Broncos. We were talking to Terrell Davis. It's before they were playing New England. That's 5 weeks ago. And I remember asking Terrell Davis, I said, you know, when you hurt your knee and you thought about the long rehab process, what are your thoughts after it's all over? And he goes, it was much, much harder than I ever thought it would be. Rehabbing an injured knee that's been surgically repaired takes so much out of a player. That's why they have a hard time coming back.
Griese on the move. Brian Cox giving chase, and he throws it away.
Well, I'm watching this, and, you know, it makes me think, what did Al Groh tell us on Friday? One of the most important things about winning football games in the National Football League, and especially for your defense to play well, you got to hit the quarterback. When you hit the quarterback, it affects his accuracy, his velocity on the ball, but most importantly, his decision-making.
And you really didn't have reason to argue with that, did you?
I knew there was a reason why I threw all those bad passes in my career. That was it.
3rd and 9. Griese needs the 13-yard line for a first down. Has time, throws, that is complete inside the 5-yard line to Dwayne Carswell, the tight end. It'll be 1st and goal for Denver.
Well, I tell you what, now that was one special pass by Brian Griese that time. They doubled Rod Smith and Ed McCaffrey. Look at this, over the top of Roman Pfeiffer. He's covered right over the top of him to Dwayne Carswell. That is into the wind. Nice touch. No, not nice touch. Beautiful touch. And boy, Mike Shanahan, you know, he's seen a lot of great passes by John Elway, but that was a terrific pass by Brian Griese.
First and goal, Terrell Davis, right side. And may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Chris Hayes coming up from the safety spot. There's no gain on the play. It'll be second and goal from the 4.
Well, the Broncos over the year, they've been so tough in the red zone. Look at it, tied for 6th in the league this year. One of the reasons they have such a varied offense, they can do a lot of things in the passing game, but the main reason you're a great team inside the red zone is that you can line up and run that football.
12th play of this drive. Davis to the 1.
Now, Greg, we got to meet with, we've always meet with both teams before a game. And the one thing that we were agreed upon, I think, after seeing the Broncos last night was this is an angry football team. They are angry, embarrassed, whatever you want to say, and I can't bring all those words up, but it's on their side. And you can see it so far in this game. They've got some emotion, a sense of urgency, and it's coming out so far.
3rd and goal. Griese going to throw for it. Touchdown, McCaffrey.
That is something there. Now that's a quarterback just knowing his wide receiver what he's about. He knows if he throws that football out there that Ed McCaffrey, because of his size, look at this as you watch Aaron Glenn cover. Aaron Glenn is all over this. They try to pick, it doesn't work, but Ed McCaffrey, 6'5", shields him off. That's what makes the catch and the touchdown. What a catch.
And then stretching for the goal line, Jason Elam on for the extra point, and it is good on that drive. Brian Griese was 4 out of 4 on 3rd down plays. This, the touchdown pass to Ed McCaffrey, and the Broncos jump on top, 7-0.
And in business news, we are drawing closer to Ted's decision day. Sources close to Ted say he is looking forward.
Man, this Ted must be something. Get me this Ted.
Get me this Ted. Get me this Ted.
I'm on that.
What do you mean we haven't heard from Ted yet?
Well, I've heard he said quite a few offers.
Then play hardball, boy. Send him a fruit basket.
Hey, Ted. Any response from Monster yet?
Mm-hmm. Get your name out there. Put your resume on Monster.com.
Oh, yes, a brilliant move. Galway scampering across the goal to stop it. They just couldn't seem to get enough players forward before. He's showing good fluid movement. To the right, the left. This is another aggressive charge down the flank. He's timed his run to absolute perfection. 2 defenders to beat. He's passed one. Is it looking like a chance? Yes, he takes the shot in.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Looking to save more and spend less this holiday season? With the Chrysler Holiday Sale, you can do just that. Because now you can save over $2,300 when you buy a new 2001 Town & Country LX with 4.9% financing. Or choose up to $3,000 cash allowance when you buy a new 2000 Chrysler minivan. So take advantage of the Chrysler Holiday Sale today for savings that let you spend more on a real holiday priority, yourself.
Friday night on The Late Show, it was the return of Madonna.
You're so close to me.
Here we go again! Monday, Days All-Star November continues.
I'll be telling you which teams are headed uptown and which teams are headed downtown.
I'll tell you why he's wrong.
Well, you see Ed McCaffrey on the sideline. Let me show you what a special play he just made. He's covered by Aaron Glenn. Watch Aaron Glenn's right hand. It hits the football. Or his left hand, I should say. And Ed McCaffrey catches it with his left hand and then puts it on and reaches over. What an adjustment to make. I couldn't even see the adjustment when it went through the first time because it didn't even startle Ed McCaffrey that Aaron Glenn had touched it.
McCaffrey's 4th touchdown catch of the season. Very short kick into the wind. White Stone from the 20. Across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. all the distractions this past week. Brian Griese told us, I'm more prepared for this game than I've been all year, and he and the Broncos are up early.
Looking to save more and spend less this holiday season? With the Chrysler Holiday Sale, you can do just that. Because now you can save over $2,300 when you buy a new 2001 Town & Country LX with 4.9% financing. Or choose up to $3,000 cash allowance when you buy a new 2000 Chrysler minivan. So take advantage of the Chrysler Holiday Sale today for savings that let you spend more on a real holiday priority, yourself.
Thank you for calling the Speedy Glue Helpline. Your call will be answered in 82 minutes.
Not going anywhere for a while? Grab a Snickers. Peanuts, caramel, and chocolate. That ought to hold you.
Please stick with us.
Hungry? Grab a Snickers.
I wish I was home, homewhere bound. Home, where my thoughts escape, and home, where my music plays.
New MSN Explorer. Everything you need to feel at home on the web, all in one place.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Snickers. Hungry? Grab a Snickers. And by Miller Lite. Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
I want you to know this beautiful view is part of the aerial coverage for today's game, brought to you by SBC Telecom Blimp. There it is. High above Giant Stadium as the Jets go back to work. And on the toss, there's a fumble recovered by the Denver Broncos.
Here's what happened on that play. It's a toss play, but it's really a toss counter. In other words, Curtis Martin is going to go to his right, stop, and come back to his left. And what happens, watch him, he takes his eyes off the football, trying to get back. You can see his head's already looking for where the hole is, and Ma'a Tanavasa comes up with the fumble recovery.
Bill Romanowski in on the coverage, but Tanavasa will get credit for the fumble recovery, and suddenly the Denver Broncos with a huge break at the New York 31-yard line.
Well, I don't think the wind is the biggest factor as I thought it might be, Greg, but anytime you can score points going into it, that's always important.
Griese play fake. On the run now. Sliding down the 25-yard line. He'll pick up about 6 or so on the play. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Well, when you watch Brian Griese run, probably the biggest surprise that I can say, or the things that I've seen from him in his pro career, has been his ability to move around and make some plays while running. You know, I thought that he was going to be a little too slow. It would probably hurt his pro career, things like that. But Mike Shanahan said, I watched him work out when he was in college. He has tremendous speed, and he's proved to be a capable scrambler in the NFL.
Terrell Davis busts across the 20-yard line to about the 18, and that'll be a first down. This is not an unusual start for the New York Jets of the year 2000.
Well, they always get up the slow starts. Watch Howard Griffith, number 29, plows it up in there, just gets in the way of a linebacker. But the biggest thing I see so far, Terrell Davis, quick, decisive, and going north and south and getting positive yards.
10:48 to a minute 10 time of possession. Davis left side to the 15.
I think last night we had a chance to talk to Terrell Davis. He just, you know, we talked about a lot of things, but the main thing he just said, he goes, oh, I just want to make it through a game, which he hasn't done so far this year. And if he could make it through a game, that would mean this. That means nothing else will go wrong. So next week, he won't be rehabbing the injury, trying to get well, push it to get ready for the next game. He could make a tremendous step forward if he gets out of this game healthy.
Yeah, so he could run on it, but he just couldn't do the other things on the field that he needed to do as a running back. Griese going to pull it down and run with it. Falls forward to about the 13-yard line. Rick Lyle and Shane Burton converging for the stop after a 2-yard gain. And the Broncos and Mike Shanahan are now looking at a 3rd and 4.
You know, I got to laugh, Greg. We're sitting here. I'm watching the Broncos now. I'll tell you what. They are emptying the bucket already in this game. They are showing the Jets looks, and they're coming up with all these plays. They're looking for big plays and scores. The Jets so far haven't fallen into the trap. They're doubling the wide receivers and making Brian Griese look to the tight end.
Brooks again into the lineup. 4 wide receivers on 3rd and 4. And now Davis runs out of the slot. Griese throws over the middle. Incomplete. Almost picked off over the middle by Victor Green. And onto the field comes the Denver field goal unit.
Well, the New York Jets defend the 5 wide receiver look. Look, there's nobody in the backfield with Brian Griese. Everybody's got a man down the field. And Victor Green, Travis McGriff is his guy, and he's all over him. Has a chance for the interception, just misses it.
So this will be Jason Elam from 30 yards out. The kick is up, and it is good. And so the Jet fumble turns into 3 more points on the board for the Denver Broncos, who stretch their lead to 10-0 here in the first quarter.
Excuse me. This is my cab.
Okay, look, I'm sorry.
Are you going downtown? Because I'm going downtown. Well, let's show the cab.
Why not?
You're with Fidelity.
That's right.
Let me ask you something. I still have a 401k from a job that I had 3 jobs ago. Can I move that?
Most of the time, sure. It's called a rollover. We do them all the time.
Really?
We can do all the paperwork, and then you just sign, roll it into an IRA, and you can buy stocks or mutual funds, whatever you're comfortable with.
And I'd be in control of it?
Sure.
That's great. Get my life down to 1 sheet of paper.
To invest, call, click, or visit Fidelity.
Oh, yeah, that's the first down. Way to read the D. That's what I'm talking about.
Can't get enough football? Grab a Miller Lite, and anytime is Miller time.
Who's calling these plays? Put in a backup.
Okay, there we go. Push, push. Beautiful baby coming.
Yeah! Nice catch. Good hand.
Can't get enough football? Grab a Miller Lite, and anytime is Miller time.
It's unnecessary roughness.
Who hosts the South Carolina into battle against the beast of the SEC East, Florida. A showdown in the swamp for conference supremacy. Next Saturday on CBS.
Since Curtis Martin never had possession, the fumble is awarded, if you can call it that, to Vinny Testaverde. And his 14 turnovers thus far this season have been worth 33 points to the opposition, and Jason Elam kicks it away. Another short kick into the wind. Dwight Stone from the 13. Breaks the tackle. The 30, the 35, and a fine return for the New York Jets out to the 37-yard line of 23 yards before Ray Crockett makes the stop. We take this moment to remind you, get live updates for each NFL game as it happens. Just click on live scores at cbs.sportsline.com. So Testaverde comes back to work. I mentioned to you during the timeout, Phil, that the way things have gone for the New York Jets this year, they have the Broncos just where they want them.
Well, Greg, what did we say? We did a little insert of the first games of the day, and we talked about it. The Jets, when they get behind, they've done it so much this year, they're used to it. They do not panic. They know they can react well in these situations.
They're going to come out with 5 wide receivers right off the bat on first down. Testaverde with time. Throws. Lavernius Coles had it and dropped it. That was a big gainer that went by the wayside. The rookie couldn't hold on.
You know, Craig, you see the 5 wide receivers. The New York Jets, I think, are one of the best teams in the league at running this formation. And Mike Shanahan said it to this. One of the reasons why Richie Anderson, number 20, watch, he's going to come across the formation, come to the other side. Now, when Denver blitzes, look, he's now a protector instead of a wide receiver. That enables Vinny Testaverde to look down the field which most teams cannot do when they get in that formation.
Curtis Martin. Keith Trailer with the stop.
And Greg, just to remind the people at home, and if they don't remember this or know, 2 weeks ago, Denver's last game, they gave up, over 400 yards in rushing. Doesn't look like the same defense that we saw 2 weeks ago today. They're playing with an attitude. There's Greg Robinson, the defensive coordinator. They said they would come in today's game, be basic, not take as many chances, and the main thing, tackle the guy when you have an opportunity.
Jets without a first down so far. Testaverde throws. That's incomplete, and a penalty marker flies, and now two of them fly. The pass intended for Wayne Corbett, and that was Ray Crockett on it.
I wonder what it must be like to be a defensive back and have to run after these wide receivers. Of course, you don't know when the football's in the air, but Ray Crockett was in terrific position. He could have just let it go, let Wayne Corbett catch it, drag him down, and he'd been short of a first down, but I guess it's
Pass
easy to say.
interference on the defense. Automatic first down.
Our referee, Jerry Austin. Let's go back and take a look at it.
There's Wayne Corbett, number 89, Ray Crockett, number 39 on him. Look, he's in good position, but when he put that hand on there, he turned him just a little bit. Drags across, you can see it. And you know, sometimes you watch it in slow motion, you go, oh, come on. But when you watch it in real speed, when I saw it here in person, I thought it was a foul.
Curtis Martin now out as a wide receiver. As the Jets once again go 5 wide. Quick drop by Testaverde. Goes down the far sideline. It is complete. Curtis Martin on the receiving end. He beat John Mobley to the football, and it'll be first down for the Jets.
One of the biggest improvements in this Jets team this year, and especially with Curtis Martin, has been his pass receiving ability when he splits out as a wide receiver. Has done a good job all year long coming across the middle. But look at here. All this is a running back like a wide receiver adjusting to the football better than the linebacker can.
What a great job Curtis Martin did out fighting Mobley for the football. Time winding down here in the first quarter. Let's see if they get it off in time. They do. Testaverde going to throw down the sideline again. It is incomplete. Lavernius Coles was the intended receiver. Ray Crockett was defending. And with that play, we come to the end of the first quarter. It has been all Denver, with the Jets showing signs of life at the end of the first quarter. We've played one. Broncos lead it 10-0.
Seattle is surrounded by water. And then it rains. And that means car accidents. When that happens, are you going to have a State Farm agent who knows you personally? Or are you going to have no agent and hope for the best?
Over 16,000 State Farm agents.
Our rates are very competitive.
It's no accident. They insure more cars than anyone else.
I'm going to be getting some calls today.
New economy won't be like the old new economy. The new economy will have new ideas. Ideas like profitability. With powerful e-business solutions, the new economy will be about how well you run your e-business, not just how well you promote it. SAP.
A chunky Super Bowl moment. Terrell Davis's mom filled him up right with new Campbell's Chunky Grilled Sirloin and Vegetables. Fired up by this Chunky Grilled classic, Terrell made like grilled steak and sizzled.
Look, Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Ellie's renting again. And Enterprise picked her up again. She said Enterprise picks her up free. Free? Free. Now that makes renting easy.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
It was the trial of the century. These lawyers were the dream team. But behind closed doors...
Please don't embarrass us.
It was a nightmare.
I find this
damn insulting. It's the mini-series O.J. doesn't want you to see.
I had a lie detector exam. He gave a wrong answer to just about every question.
American Tragedy. CBS next Sunday.
Coming up on the NASDAQ.com halftime report, Jim Nance, Mike Ditka, Craig James will get you caught up on all the scores and highlights. That's coming up on the NASDAQ.com halftime report.
Jimmy, Mikey, and Craigie. Yeah.
So the Jets turn things around now, and they will head into the wind. From the 25-yard line, Testaverde to throw. Out of the backfield, Martin. Using his blockers inside the 20, close to the 15-yard line and close to a first down, run out of bounds by Eric Brown.
Well, the New York Jets, when you talk to Mike Shanahan or anybody that's playing the Jets, you got to defend the draw plays and this. You got to defend screens. Curtis Martin catches it on the edge. You're going to see number 68, 69. There's Jenkins, 71. Mike Shanahan says every time there's a screen, number 68, oh, there it was. Kevin Mawai leads all the screens coming from the center position because he's athletic enough to get out in front and make the block.
3rd and 1. Testaverde to throw for it. Out of the backfield is Richie Anderson, and Anderson enough for the first down at about the 12-yard line. Pick up a 4 on the play, and coming into the action today, Richie Anderson's 42 receptions, the best on the team.
Well, I think he has found his spot in the offense, but you look at this Jet offense so far today. Vinny Testaverde told us, too, on Friday that they're being more aggressive. They started in Buffalo, the start of the game, come out and attack, and I think it helped Testaverde because I thought he played maybe one of his best games up there, and he's pretty sharp today because they're getting him involved early.
All 3 of Testaverde's completions to running backs on the ground. Martin tripped up early by number 51, John Mobley. He picked up 1 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 9. Al Groh checks his red zone offense card.
Well, looks pretty good. 4th in the AFC. I guess when you have a quarterback, Testaverde, pretty good thrower, and then they got this guy, Curtis Martin, who can do a lot of things, and just given the opportunity, Curtis Martin takes advantage of it.
You see the numbers for Testaverde as they go 5 wide again on 2nd and 9.
Look at the confusion by the Broncos defense.
Testaverde throws over the middle, intercepted at the 5-yard line.
Tipped at the line of scrimmage. The football was tipped.
The rookie Kenoy Kennedy, the 2nd-round draft pick out of Arkansas, brings the Jets' drive to a halt at the Denver 5-yard line.
Our company needed managed internet solutions. PSINet delivered.
We needed managed web hosting. PSINet fit the bill.
I wanted multi-currency e-commerce. PSINet was there in over 160 currencies.
We needed transaction solutions. PSINet executed to specifications on time.
Simply put, I needed everything, and PSINet gave it to me.
Your business internet opportunity is knocking. Open the door. Call or contact us today.
It has been completely redesigned, so it is more powerful, safer, quieter, and more spacious, with ultra-low emissions and improved fuel economy. Introducing the all-new Civic from Honda. Amazing, but true.
Why can't they park in the garage like everyone else?
Introducing the new Insider Pizza from Pizza Hut. It's like a pizza inside a pizza. You get more cheese, more crust, and it's packed inside an already outrageous pizza. It's one thin crust piled with 6 cheeses, then sealed with another thin crust and even more cheese. Oh, yeah! So how do we get it all in? Hey, we're Pizza Hut. We put cheese in places you've never dreamed of. Just $9.99. $9.99? That's not inside. That's insane. The Insider Pizza from Pizza Hut. Another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
They survived the island.
Hey, neighbor.
But can these castaways survive a night with Nash Bridges?
Oh, I'm stuck! Oh.
An all-new Nash, CBS Friday.
Watch Wayne Corbett on this last play. He's going to do an out and up. It makes the defender has to run through the other 2 players, wide open for a touchdown. Testaverde doesn't wait long enough. He decides to go to the Curtis Martin over the middle. The ball gets tipped by John Mobley, and Kennedy makes the interception.
On the ground for a couple of yards, it's Terrell Davis to about the 8-yard line, and once again, the question is going to come up about those interceptions of Vinny Testaverde.
Well, that'll come up. When the ball's tipped, there's not much a quarterback can do, but Kenoy Kennedy definitely was in position to make the interception, even if it wasn't tipped. But, Greg, we saw that play at practice on Friday. The play was set up for Wayne Corbett to cause a little traffic jam, come around and get open. It worked, but Vinny Testaverde just didn't wait long enough.
2nd and 8. Play fake. Greasy under the gun. Throws out of the end zone. Rick Lyle was all over Greasy, who just barely got rid of it.
Well, that's a good job by Brian Greasy, knowing that Dwayne Carswell is a tight end, and he's there. Here's Rick Lyle, number 95 at the top. He just gets right inside Carswell. And Greasy, smart enough to know you got to get rid of that football. Anytime the tight end stays in on those play-action passes like that, that tells you Brian Greasy was trying to go deep with the pass, but they didn't protect him long enough.
Now we have a whistle on the field. And a timeout is called. Greasy comes over to the side, 12-14 to play in the first half.
Need sports equipment? Go to MVP.com. All the best gear, all the best brands, and insight to help you play your best. And right now, get free shipping on any Major League Baseball or World Series gear. MVP.com. Gear up for sport.
You mentioned earlier, Phil, the idea for the New York Jets, as dictated by Al Groh, is hit the quarterback.
Well, it only makes sense. I don't know why it just jumped out at me when Al Groh said it, but when you do pressure the quarterback, it changes his performance level dramatically. Brian Greasy, so far, 8 of 12 for 72 yards.
Straight drop by Greasy this time. Flips it to McCaffrey. McCaffrey, room to run. First down and more, 20 out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. Hector Green ran him out after a 15-yard pickup.
I'm sorry, Greg, but I'll tell you one of the reasons why the Denver Broncos can throw so many passes over the middle. And the biggest reason is Rod Smith and Ed McCaffrey. Look at him coming across. They're so big for receivers that Greasy, even when there's a blitz and he can't see real well, you can see a 6'5" Ed McCaffrey coming across the middle.
We also saw on that play Terrell Davis throwing a block, and that's one of the things that he said he was looking forward to, not looking forward to today.
Well, the Jet linebackers are so big, he said it's like picking up defensive linemen.
Greasy on the run again. And bumped out of bounds at about the 25 by Mo Lewis.
Well, that's a good job of the Jets so far. Now, Greg, how many times have we seen that look? The Denver Broncos are trying to get the Jets to come up so they can get those big plays, but the Jets, look, when all you hear from the Jet coaches is we can't give up big pass plays, if I was a safety for the Jets and I came up and got fooled on the play, just go on home, because that's what's going to happen.
It has been a major topic of conversation. Jets have given up 7 pass plays of 40 or more yards this year. Quick pass this time. The slant is complete to Rod Smith, and Smith out across the 40 to the 42-yard line.
Well, anytime you see this type of look from an offense, in other words, when Rod Smith can run across the middle and catch it like this, the fault of that is it's the linebackers. The linebackers have to drop back and lead the quarterback and get in the way of wide receivers. That is not Marcus Coleman's responsibility in those type of throws. And Rod Smith, I would say Rod Smith is a pretty determined athlete, just knowing him and having a chance to talk to him.
Greasy, short drop, plenty of time, throws over the middle, and that's complete. Terrell Davis out of the backfield. One of the things that Brian Greasy was talking to us about last night was going against the 3-4 defense and how your passing lanes change a little bit because of an extra linebacker out there.
You know, Greg, it's amazing everything I've forgotten since I've been out of football, and I really mean that. When the difference for a quarterback standing up there and seeing 3 linebackers standing up in front of you, and then when you see 4, you go, my gosh, there's too many people on defense. And he made that point. You've got to find those passing lanes underneath when you're throwing against 4 linebackers.
That was Terrell Davis's first reception of the year. And Davis now spinning across midfield and appears to have enough for another Broncos first down.
I tell you, Greg, I don't know what your eye's telling you, but again, watch Terrell Davis, the feet, that look. I've over the years, I've seen it about 40 times because I've done so many Bronco games. But that is Terrell Davis there, maybe at his best. Well, the best he's been in the last 2 years. You can tell he's fresh, his feet are quick, and they're lively. They really respond when he puts them on the ground.
Clock winds down towards 9.5 to play. Davis left side, and this time tripped up after a pickup of about 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 8. And Ernie Logan made the stop.
Now see what this does when you watch the Bronco offense. I brought this up to Mike Shanahan. I said, you know, your defense, you know, all the things you want to do and get better there. But what really can make your defense good is a Terrell Davis running that football. Because it just changes the tempo of the game. The Bronco defense is now sitting on the sideline for about 8 minutes, and it's still 2nd down. Denver's driving.
Broncos have dominated this game thus far. Greasy over the middle, incomplete. And the intended receiver, well, Dwayne Carswell was there, and so was Howard Griffith. It'll be 3rd and 8.
I tell you, when I look at Mike Shanahan, very tense last night. And you got to remember things, you know, and also I think of it, you know, these head coaches, when they got beat by the Bengals, it's not just they lost the game, it's how they lost. It's an embarrassment to them and the organization. So they want to come out and make amends for that today, and so far, it's worked very well for them.
McCaffrey in motion on 3rd and 8. Greasy over the middle, has his man, complete to the 30. Inside the 30 is Desmond Clark, and it's a 1st down for the Broncos.
Boy, what sticks out in this play, Brian Greasy. We talked about Greg. You got to get in the face of the quarterback and hit him. It's a blitz by the Jets. Look at the linebackers coming. Nobody in the face of Brian Greasy, so he can spot the open receiver down the field and be accurate with the throw.
Man, that's a terrific catch by Desmond Clark.
I always think, I'm sorry, Greg, but I always think preparation of a team shows up when the other team is blitzing it. When you pick it up, that tells me you're prepared and ready to play.
Terrell Davis exploding across the 20 to about the 18-yard line. More than a couple of the Denver Broncos made the point. We talked earlier about how they were in pads and Al Gross schemes along the sideline. Mike Shanahan put them in pads, and the Broncos said, we earned it. We deserved it.
They earned it, and they talked about it last night. We have got to earn the right to take those pads off. I told Coach Shanahan, now what if you play really well? If you believe in things like this, you have to keep the pads on again next week. Worked too well.
Mike Anderson in on 2nd and short yardage, and he's across the 15 to the 14-yard line.
And I also think, as you saw the last play, Terrell Davis coming off the field, you got to be careful. You know, he's back, he's healthy. You got to make sure that you don't overwork him today. You got to keep track of the number of times he has carried the football. But wouldn't you say, is Denver just a little bit quicker, right, just from your eye, you're watching the game?
And a little more confident, too.
Yes, gaining confidence as they go along.
From the 15, 1st down, Davis, left side, turns it back across the 10 to about the 7-yard line, and didn't that look familiar?
Well, it did. I saw it about 2,000 times a couple years ago. But this Jet defense, it's not easy to run against these guys. Look at the line blocking. Terrell Davis, as soon as he sees somebody go down, that is one of the keys when he goes back. Because if you get knocked down as a defender, he knows you can't reach up with an arm and drag him down. Because he is going to be running hard with that football.
Mo Lewis telling us the worst thing they could do against the Broncos is over-pursue. Cutting back again, across the 5 to about the 4-yard line. And that will be enough for a 1st and goal. This drive began on the Broncos' 6-yard line.
Well, what a turn. Jets going in to score, you think. They're moving the football, an interception, and the Broncos have just come back and methodically and powerful. And
it's been impressive. 70 yards already for Terrell Davis today.
Only 99 leading up to this point for the year.
Terrell, left side, touchdown. Terrell Davis's first touchdown of the season caps a 94-yard drive.
Well, last week, or no, I shouldn't say it, 2 weeks ago in a Monday night game, Al Grove went in at halftime and gave a big speech to his team. He might have to do it again today because physically the Denver Broncos are coming out and winning this football game. Just more determined. That run shows it.
Howard Griffith has sat out a couple of games with a knee injury. He led the block on that play. Elam kicks the extra point. About 5.5 to play in the second half, and oh, the mile-high salute. Where has that been? First time this year.
Hey!
Sorry. It's just too fun to drive. The all-new Civic Coupe from Honda. Amazing. The truth.
A typical day for the IT manager. Everyone wants everything now. Luckily, there's CDW, your direct solutions provider. CDW uses 50,000 top-name products to give you complete systems, including custom configuration and pre-installed software. Why get hung up in work when CDW is here to make life easier? CDW, computing solutions built for business.
We asked the tough fans of the St. Paul Saints to test the Norelco Quadra Action Razor for 21 days.
Electric sting!
But when they tried it, they started to like this advanced Norelco, with slots to cut the long hairs and holes that get the short stubble. They got a quick, close shave without the nicks and cuts of a blade. By the end, these fans had fans of their own. The Quadra Action Razor. Try it for 21 days. It's guaranteed or your money back. Norelco. Put it to the test.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the all-new Honda Civic. Amazing but true. CDW, computing solutions built for business. And by Norelco, for an unexpectedly close shave guarantee. Put it to the test.
There can be no better news for fans of the Denver Broncos than Terrell Davis is back, scoring his first touchdown since the 3rd of October, 1999, against these same New York Jets. On the kick, bobbled around, picked up at the 15-yard line. Jermaine Wiggins with the short return of 12 yards. Terrell Davis says, hey, we're leading 17-0.
Introducing the Acura MDX, taking the SUV to a place it's never been before.
You have a nice smell coming off you.
That's my perfume.
Nikki and Valerie had a match made in heaven.
It's better than the July.
Until she found out he was from hell.
Am I supposed to not be freaked out right now? Because I am.
Adam Sandler.
I can't stop thinking about Valerie.
I was in love once, but she said I wasn't financially reliable. Now by she, do you mean he?
No.
Busted!
Little Nicky, rated PG-13. Starts Friday.
Shannon Sharp, Cleveland, has always talking trash.
Japan, baby!
He's always trying to get inside your head.
Seahorse, you don't know your elbows from your...
And sometimes, he can get downright nasty.
I bet you pay transaction fees on your mutual funds. Your mama pays full commission. You know how to calculate a PE ratio?
Want to learn about smarter investing?
How diversified is your portfolio? You can't even spell Dow Jones.
Visit us at schwabwelcome.com, where every investor is welcome.
PE ratio. You divide the stock price.
Access NFL.com to vote for your favorite NFL All-Stars. The Pro Bowl ballot is online exclusively at NFL.com.
You never know who's going to show up on the NFL Today. Sundays on CBS.
We once again want to thank the SBC Telecom Blimp and its crew for providing aerial coverage for today's game, which has been dominated thus far by the Denver Broncos. 5 wide receivers for the Jets on first down from the 26-yard line. Throws to the near side, incomplete. And Curtis Martin on this side of the field, spinning towards the sideline, couldn't get to it.
Well, let's see what the Jets have done in their 3 possessions. 3 plays, 1 play in the fumble. Then they had a nice drive going. The tip pass made the interception. But the big thing so far in this first half, Greg, is just the fact there's Dan Henning, the offensive coordinator for the Jets. It's just that the Broncos have come out, and in football, whoever's the more physical team almost always wins, and the Broncos have definitely been more physical.
Testaverde chased out of the pocket, throws incomplete, in and out of the arms of Curtis Martin, and right now the Jets can't get anything going.
Well, you know, a little confusing to me. The Jets are very good with 5 wide receivers and spreading the field. But you're playing a team that gave up over 400 yards rushing 2 weeks ago. If you want to throw it, I would be more inclined right now to fake running plays and look for the wide receivers down the field that way. Because you know the Bronco defense is thinking one thing. We can't get gashed on the run again like we did 2 weeks ago.
You see the numbers on Testaverde. We're talking about previous Jets possessions. They've turned the ball over twice, and they've led to 10 Denver points. Testaverde in trouble. Steps forward, now with some blocking. Throws down the field. It is caught by Anthony Beck. Is he in or out of bounds? Conference among the officials on the near sideline.
Well, I would think they're talking, did he get hit and pushed out? I couldn't tell from here if he got both feet down.
It is ruled a catch. 29 yards on the play.
Boy, what a nice job. Vinny Testaverde buying the time by moving around. And Anthony Beck, nice play. Got his feet down. It's so hard for defenders. When you see receivers running down the field, they're able to adjust. Look, John Mobley, he's just frantically trying to stay with the receiver. He cannot see the football thrown.
Red flag on the field means that we're going to get a review.
Denver challenges the call on the field of a completed pass. The play will be reviewed.
Now, see, I thought they were going to, at first, was he forced out? If it's a completed pass, and they're saying he was forced out, you could not challenge that. But since it was ruled just a completed pass, Mike Shanahan, I think, did the right thing. Let them review it. It's a big play, a big turning point here in the first half, maybe.
Mike Shanahan probably had a terrific view of this because it happened right in front of the Denver bench.
Let's watch the feet. Left foot down.
There's Mike Shanahan standing there and watching.
Well, that's going to be tough. The knee, his left knee, could have hit out of bounds before he got his right foot down.
Anthony Beck, the rookie out of West Virginia, back in action tonight after missing the last 2 games with a sprained knee.
Boy, he looked good running down the field, too. Another one of their first-round draft picks, Anthony Beck. And let's look at it one more time. And then you hear this so many times when you watch these games. Here's the deciding factor. Is there something here that can overturn the play that was called on the field? There's no question the feet hit inbounds. Did his body hit out of bounds before he could get his feet down?
That would be the other question. Here's the rookie. First-round draft pick, the 27th player selected overall, and Jerry Austin continues to look.
I think the biggest thing in pro football that's changed, just to get sidetracked here for a second, is receivers now can make catches under such tough circumstances. And even Lavernius Coles told us that the other day. In pro football, you got to be able to make catches when defenders are hanging all over you. And that's what Anthony Beck did that time. Man, John Mobley all over him, hitting him, pushing him, and he still was able to make the catch and be conscious enough where he was at to get his feet down.
We saw Curtis Martin do it in the first quarter on a pass down the sideline. taking it away from Al Mobley.
Yeah, running backs doing it now instead of just wide receivers. But the skill,
as we wait.
Yeah, but I was going to say, Greg, the skill level of the people throwing and catching the football has gotten so good that that's why defenses, there's not as many good ones out there now. That's one of the reasons why. You just can't defend these players.
Well, let's see Jerry Austin's call.
After reviewing the play, the call stands as made on the field. The receiver comes down with the side of his leg and knee inbounds.
There you go.
Denver will be charged with a timeout.
Now, how big a play was that? Because that was a 3rd and 10 pass.
Well, let's look at it again. He says his leg and knee comes down inbounds. That is the reason why it was not overruled. It was a nice throw, too, by Testaverde. He threw it exactly where he wanted to. Moving to his right, throwing down the sideline. That is not an easy throw for a quarterback.
So it cost Denver a timeout. They are down to 1 for the first half now. The Jets with all 3 of theirs remaining. And Vinny Testaverde now 4 out of 11. 3 of his completions to running backs and 1 to the tight end Beck. First down from the 48 and 5 wide receivers again. Testaverde throws down the field to Beck. Inside the 20, it'll be a first down for the Jets.
Greg, we've already talked about what Mike Shanahan says, why they're so good. Look, they bring the tight end back in the formation. The Broncos blitz. The Jets pick it up. Now, when you're a defensive back and you see 5 wide receivers and you know your defense is blitzing, you're expecting a real quick pass. But this is 30 yards down the field.
Al Groh, the head coach of the Jets, on the sideline, getting a little bit more pumped. We have 4 minutes to play here in the first half. The Jets look to crack the scoreboard for the first time. Martin, running room, spinning, and trying to dodge the Denver defenders as well as a balloon on the field. Now, you can practice for a lot of things, Phil.
Yeah, what are you telling me?
Well, you just don't get that many balloons in practice.
That's right. Well, let's take a look at it, Greg. Might be my first as a broadcaster. Martin in the middle. Oh, well, there you go. Nice shot. Al Wilson hits the balloon.
And those balloons are pretty sure-handed tackling. 2nd and 5. Pump fake. Throwing. Back. Incomplete. Penalty marker. Billy Jenkins, the safety who is running with it.
Pass interference. Defense 32 in the end zone. By rule, the ball be placed at the wall.
Well, watch it. Good call by the officials. Anthony Beck trying to fake like he's going to block, and you can see Jenkins never turns around, looks for the ball, and puts his hand into the receiver. Good call. I tell you what, if Denver tries to defend the 5 wide receiver set like they're trying so far against the New York Jets, they're going to be in trouble. You cannot go man-to-man across the field all the time with no help.
The rookie, Anthony Beck, has made his presence felt here in the last minute or so. Curtis Martin, touchdown!
Well, that was an answer. Watch this. Fake it right. Curtis goes left. Cuts back to the right. That's a new one I haven't seen on the goal line before, but that's what it's come to down in there. You got to be a little tricky to fool the defense so the running backs can find running lanes.
Curtis Martin, his 6th rushing touchdown this season. He scored 2 via the pass. The extra point by John Hall is good. The Jets go 6 plays and 73 yards. We have 3:05 to play in the first half, and the Jets are on the board. They trail Denver by 10.
Today we're talking about desktops. This is the IBM NetVista X40. It's all in one. It takes up 75% less space than other desktops. It's got an Intel Pentium 3 processor. It's very cool. This is a desktop from another company. It's big, and it's big. If you want the Net Vista, go to IBM.com and buy it direct. If you want the big one, go somewhere else, like a big store somewhere.
Introducing the Acura MDX, taking the SUV to a place it's never been before.
CBS Monday is TV's funniest night of the week. Yeah! First, when Doug gets a job teaching. Mr. Pepperman. Higher education hits a new low. Ricky Lake guest stars. Then it's Monday's #1 new comedy. Rock and roll! Yes, dear. And when Ray runs into an ex-girlfriend, his 25-year-old secret is revealed. This was a big incident.
The Cuban Missile Crisis was an incident.
Then, did one of these friends vandalize Becker's office?
I could only pick one.
A brand new Becker. It's all here, CBS Monday.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by IBM, taking e-business and your business to the next level. And by NASDAQ.com, who can tell you more about stocks than the stock market.
3:05 to play in the first half, and the Broncos with a 17-7 lead on the Jets now as the Jets kick it away. Delta O'Neal, number 24, deep to receive. Short as the kickoffs in that direction have been. O'Neal from the 13. Hole at the 30, up ahead to the 34-yard line, and let's check in with Armin Katayan. Armin.
Greg, you know, Kevin White told us yesterday they could not expect to have many more of these fourth-quarter miracles that the Jets have used for this 6-2 record, but frankly, about 5 minutes ago, it looked like they needed a second-half miracle. They were dead over here. This touchdown has electrified this bench. Back to you.
Thanks, Armin. Look at Curtis Martin.
Well, you know, I got to say, you know, Armin was on the NFL Today show today. He's a traitor. Left us here at the stadium. He's going in there. That was a nice piece on Bill Romanowski, though.
It was. Greasy. Over the middle. Tip. Intercepted. You bet. Jets with the football. James Ferrier, number 58. What happens to a quarterback's heart when the ball is tipped in the air?
Oh, when it's tipped in the air, over the middle, a quarterback thinks only one thing. I better get in position to try to make a tackle on this interception. Perfect throw by Brian Greasy. The right pace on it, not too hard, but Carswell knocks it up in the air. Look at that. The Jet defenders all looking. They're playing zones. So they're looking at the quarterback. Makes the interception easy.
Jets with 2:50 in the half and all of their timeouts. Testaverde with time. Throws down the far sideline. That is intercepted. Eric Brown making the catch, and it was way overthrown. The intended receiver, Wayne Corbett.
Well, this is the things that are driving the Jets crazy and the coaches. Watch what happens as Vinny Testaverde drops back. You're going to see the two receivers to the top. Here's Eric Brown. Watch the receivers. They both stop at that level. The ball's thrown way over their heads. There's Wayne Corbett. He breaks out, and you can even see he's going, where are you throwing the football? Now, of course, I know there's a mix-up because I saw Vinny Testaverde just make some gestures to the sideline, so hard to say whose fault it is, but that is something you can't take.
We've had 2 turnovers in 7 seconds here. Terrell Davis, left side, turns the corner, out across the 25 to about the 26, maybe the 27-yard line. Chris Hayes with the stop after a 7-yard gain. 2nd and 3, and the clock continues to work its way toward the 2-minute warning.
You know, Greg, you're going to have interceptions like that in NFL season. But I know, and reading the papers all week this week and talking to Al Groh, they've had more than their share of those type of interceptions. Last week in Buffalo, Henry Jones takes one all the way to the end zone, a big overthrow, so big mistakes cost the game.
Greasy going long. Rod Smith makes the catch. And down at the 40-yard line. 33 yards picked up on the play, and the clock stops at 1:57 with 2 minutes to play in the first half. 3 seconds less than that. We'll be back.
One day, everyone in the world, no matter where they live in the world, will be able to invest in any company in the world. Trading will transcend international borders, transpiring with an ease and speed and economy that can only be imagined today. Where is the technology that will take us there? Technology that will open the wonders of the internet to all, connecting every investor in the world to every wired country in the world. There is a place where this technology is now taking shape, already laying the groundwork for a vast new world of investing. NASDAQ, stock market for the digital world.
You just bring her home today?
Oh, yeah.
She's got teeth.
Yep. 36 of them. Big pink will tear through wood.
It's the National Hardware Sale at Sears, where you'll find these limited edition Craftsman power tools just $59.99 each.
Hey, fellas.
The National Hardware Sale, only at Sears.
Her life was like a fairy tale, but for Jackie, it wasn't a dream come true.
You'd pay me to stay in a loveless marriage?
Jackie, CBS tonight.
Rod Smith is double covered, but Brian Griese throws his football because watch number 30. Chris Hayes has him inside. He is not looking at the football at the receiver or the quarterback. Brian Griese sees that, throws the football, and look at Rod Smith.
Rod Smith wanted to make sure we wished his 11-year-old daughter, Vanessa, a happy birthday today. Daddy Rod's doing all right so far. Griese to throw. Over the middle, McCaffrey. 35, forward, across the 30 to the 29-yard line. That's enough for another first down. The clock continues to move. Denver with 1 timeout remaining, and now stopping the clock with 1:40 to play.
That Nakatani merger is brilliant. We got to move on that now.
They were having problems with the space shuttle at the time. That led to our first contract for NASA.
Touchstone Labs opened in 1980 with 2 employees and some great ideas. Today, with help from Senator Robert Byrd, the Wheeling firm's payroll tops $2 million, and its products fly on the space shuttle.
It was Senator Byrd who appropriated money to fund the research, and more than anything, he gave us encouragement. It just makes me very proud to have him in our camp.
Robert Byrd for West Virginia.
Now, why in the world would the coal industry come up with $500,000 for Cecil Underwood to help him get elected and then to help him throw an inaugural party?
The press finds $200 million in workers' comp giveaways for Big Coal, including $40 million for his old company. He even put coal bosses in charge of protecting our environment. Cecil Underwood's not working for us, and it's time for a change.
When you turn for news, sports, and entertainment, turn to 1430 WEIR.
I'm Margie DeFeedy. I grew up right here and know that news is important to the Valley. That's why I dig deeper to report breaking news you won't hear anywhere else.
Sports rules here in the Ohio Valley. High school, college, and the pros. You'll get it all on 1430 WEIR.
The information you need, the entertainment you want. Mike Donovan and Company. Weekday mornings, 6 to 9 on 1430 WEIR.
Turn to...
On 3rd and 3, Griese going to loft it down the sideline for Smith. Incomplete. Nicely played by Marcus Coleman, number 42, who feels he should have had the interception.
Well, that's the first time today, Greg, we've seen a defender turn around, get the ball, make a play on it. Marcus Coleman, a extremely big corner for the National Football League, about 6'3". And you can see Rod Smith, even though he's a big receiver, Marcus Coleman able to push off and do whatever it takes to make the play.
Jason Elam from 41 yards out will try to make it 20 on the board. Elam's kick on the way, and it is good.
Well, that's a nice series and a turnaround for the Denver Broncos, but I gotta say this again. I was a bad job of the Broncos, Shanahan and Brian Griese managing the clock there. They should have got at least one more quality play in there instead of killing the clock and just taking a shot at the end zone.
I want to tell you about Friday on CBS. The fugitive is taken hostage, and you will never guess what happens next. Don't miss the most terrifying episode ever. Tim Daly stars in an all-new Fugitive, Friday at 8, 7 Central on CBS. Denver has scored 13 points off of New York Jets turnovers today. And if you're the Jets, it's not going to win you many football games, but they have been a second half, or more accurately, a fourth quarter team this season.
Well, we could see just by their last drive, Greg, that they are explosive, and they have found formations that are going to give this Bronco defense trouble as the rest of this game goes on.
Elam, with the wind at his back, from the 2-yard line, Stone to the 20. It almost went down at the 25, goes forward to about the 28 or 29-yard line.
Now, when you look at Vinny Testaverde, look at his numbers there so far. They've had opportunities to make the plays down the field. Been a little unfortunate, but had really one horrendous play, that last interception. But talking to Vinny Testaverde on Friday, I think physically he said this is the best he has felt all year. In fact, he went, the Achilles injury he had last year, he said Wednesday I went on the practice field, and for the first time I did what's called a toe raise. In other words, he got way up on his toes because his calf and his Achilles tendon bled him.
Little screen to the far side isn't going to work for Curtis Martin. Ma'a Tanavasa was out there to send it to a 5-yard loss, and we are at 55 seconds and counting for the half.
I love screen plays in the 2-minute situation when you're backed up. Safe play, you hope the running back can make something big out of it.
Testaverde down the sideline. Caught! Lavernius Cole with his first reception of the day. And they're into Denver territory, and the clock stops for the timeout called by the New York Jets. What a catch and what a throw by Testaverde.
You're right, Greg. A nice catch and a very good throw. Testaverde, again, just puts it up to the outside. Terrell Buckley's there now. Lavernius Cole, the Jets wide receivers, are not very big, but here's a guy that has been hot.
Lavernius Cole, Vinny Testaverde telling us, you take a look at the number of yards he's put up in the last 3 games. Vinny said, Cole's caught my eye just the way he worked out on the scout team earlier in the season.
Well, that's how, that was really a nice story that they were all talking about Lavernius Cole. Dwight Stone also told Lavernius Cole, if you want to play, be very good on special teams and make the coaches put you in the game, and that's what happened. He caught their eye because he performed so well on special teams. Next thing you know, you get a chance at wide receiver.
And just as we were about to get started again, Jerry Austin blew the whistle. The ball is at the 44-yard line. Yes, Jerry?
The play is going to be reviewed.
Well, inside 2 minutes, the officials upstairs are the ones that make this review. So they signal down the field
that it's worthy of another look. So Jerry Austin makes his way to the near sideline.
Well, here comes the play to the outside. Wow, did he get up for that ball? All right, I know why they reviewed it. I think it's because did the ball hit the ground? Is his hand underneath it? And my answer is absolutely, without question, his hand is underneath it. There we go. The review's over. Let's move on. You can pay me for being an official, too.
Reverend Sims has
yes,
spoken.
Sir. Sunday. But, Greg, going back to that play, Lavernius Cole, you need repetitions in this league. I thought early in the game, Testaverde threw one down the end zone, almost the exact same play, and he did not make the adjustment to the football. But being in the game, he's caught up to the speed. You feel more acclimated to your surroundings, and that time, boom, makes the play like it was nothing.
Vinny Testaverde was talking to us about the similarities that he has seen between Lavernius Cole and Terry Glenn of the New England Patriots.
Well, they both, yeah, a lot of things they learned because Lavernius Coles had to run Terry Glenn pass routes for the scout team when they were getting ready to play the Patriots. But let's look at it again. What really gets me there, he gets way up and secures it with both hands, and you can see his hand is underneath the football.
Well, Jerry Austin continues his review down below. And we still have 39 seconds to play in the first half.
And it's not only that. The big thing is he secured the catch. He was in possession at all times there. So the ball did not juggle. He had it, so I believe it'll stand.
I can't wait for Jerry Austin's call because this is as decisive as you have been all season long.
Well, that's something new for me. I'm feeling good today, though. Don't look very good, but I feel good.
Well, the coaches wait. We wait. Jerry Austin is...
And you know what the coaches are thinking? Oh, this replay system has done nothing but tortured us. And when it goes your way, you feel a little different.
Well, one of these guys is about to be disappointed is Jerry Austin.
After reviewing the play, the receiver comes down with the ball in control, and he maintains it when the ball touches the ground. Under this year's rule, that is a catch.
Well, that's right. That's a great explanation. Because in last year's rule, that might not have been a catch, and the great example for that was in the NFC Championship game, Tampa Bay against the St. Louis Rams. They had a play like that near the end of the game that was very, very critical in the outcome.
Yeah, we're going to snap.
Vinny Testaverde, 7 completions on the day, 4 of them more than 25 yards. Beck in motion. Testaverde. Out here to Curtis Martin. Martin heads for the sideline. Punch back inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. 17 yards on the play. And we have a player down on the field, one of the Denver Broncos. That's Kavika Pittman, the defensive end.
Greg, let's look at this again. That time, the Broncos come on a blitz, and I could hear all the linemen and people picking up the blitzers. They were hitting them so square. Testaverde looked down the field. Nobody's open. Curtis Martin sneaks out of the backfield and picks up good yardage. And again, I said it earlier, you can blitz pickups. When you can stop the other team's blitzing, tells you a lot about your preparation for the game, that you did a lot of studying, a lot of hard work.
You know, as we watch that play develop again in slow motion, that was Pittman leveling the main hit on Curtis Martin. Martin got up. Yeah. Pittman only now just sitting up.
That's another thing, too, about this league. And it's progressed so much. But now, defensive linemen, Greg, he was rushing the passer. He saw the ball thrown. Defensive linemen now turn and run down the field and make so many tackles from behind. And, you know, 10 years ago or 15 years ago, that was unheard of. Now it's 20 times a game you see these guys doing it.
Yes, not only do they run quickly.
And they run hard, and they're big.
So Pittman has been helped off the field to the sideline. And we couldn't hear what Jerry Austin said.
An injured player on the field, under 2 minutes with no timeouts. There was no penalties, what he's saying. If the Jets did that and they had no timeouts, they would run time off the clock because they have the football.
31 seconds on the clock.
I can read lips.
Yes, you can. Very well. The Jets with a first down at the 27. Testaverde throws toward the end zone. Incomplete, almost intercepted. Eric Brown looking for his second pick of the night.
Well, Testaverde knows it's late in the half, 20-some seconds to go, but the problem here is he goes all the way across the field and throws it back. that Eric Brown is just standing in the middle reacting to the throw. And he goes, boy, nice reaction right through his arms. That was trouble as soon as Vinny Testaverde let it go.
2nd and 10. Going to throw down the middle and overthrows his intended receiver. Lavernius Cole turned it up short.
I got to tell you this, though. Testaverde's thrown some interceptions, and he's thrown some this year that have been bad. But this guy, he doesn't have a conscience. He just keeps throwing it down there. And, we kind of laugh about it, but think about the defense, what they're thinking. They're going, man, you got to be on your toes because you just don't know.
He's not going to let up on you.
He is a courageous thrower, too courageous in my eyes, but he is not afraid to take chances.
Unless the Jets do something here, they're looking at a pretty long field goal into the wind. Testaverde throws. Incomplete to the near side, intended for Dedrick Ward. And now John Hall will come onto the field. Kicks going left to right have been short so far this evening.
Yeah, but as I look at it, Greg, the wind has absolutely, it's died down quite a bit since the start of the game. 2 hours ago, it was blowing 20 to 25 miles an hour. Now it looks like it's going about 5 miles per hour.
This one will be from about 45 yards. Hall has kicked on 51 this year, his long. Gets it away. It is plenty long and perfectly straight. "45-yard field goal gets the Jets another 3 points with 9 seconds to play in the first half.
Now watch this kick. I'd say John Hall, he just hammers this thing. Perfect right through the middle, and look how far it goes through. Way up into the net.
That was a potential 55-yarder. So Testaverde brings the Jets back, and despite the turnovers, the Jets trail by 10 at halftime, and the turnovers have been significant. There's the fumble.
Well,
attributed to Testaverde.
Yeah, well, Curtis Martin took his eyes off a tip pass, and then this one here was the one that really hurt. But, so many turning points in this first half. Anthony Beck's big reception on 3rd down, Testaverde's interception. I thought mismanagement by the Broncos going down and kicking that field goal allowed the Jets to come back and have time to get their field goal.
O'Neal, the deep man, number 24. And Hall to O'Neal from the 8. 25. Bounces. And finally run out of bounds at about the 37-yard line as time expires here in the first half. So the Jets' turnovers contribute to 13 points by the Denver Broncos. They lead it, and let's go down to Armin.
Mike, it dominated in the first half, particularly with Terrell on the ground until the last 3 minutes.
Yeah, we've done some good things. We just got to slow them down a little bit. And once we get that ball in the red zone, we've got to try to get touchdowns instead of field goals.
All right, Coach. Thanks.
All right, Armin, our halftime score. The Denver Broncos 20, the New York Jets 10. Coming up, we'll send you off to New York for the NASDAQ.com halftime report. Jim, Mike, and Craig getting you caught up on the news, scores, and highlights. All that comes your way after these messages from your local station.
Thousands of women have implants every year, but one will go terribly wrong.
It's kind of a mess for a breast case, isn't it?
More like a disaster. All new City of Angels, Thursday. You know the legend. Now get to know the woman. Jackie, CBS Tonight.
They were having problems with the space shuttle at the time. That led to our first contract with NASA.
Touchstone Labs opened in 1980 with 2 employees and some great ideas. Today, with help from Senator Robert Byrd, the Wheeling firm's payroll tops $2 million, and its products fly on the space shuttle.
It was Senator Byrd who appropriated money to fund the research. And more than anything, he gave us encouragement. It just makes me very proud to have him in our camp.
Robert Byrd for West Virginia.
Now, why in the world would the coal industry come up with $500,000 for Cecil Underwood to help him get elected and then to help him throw an inaugural party?
The press finds $200 million in workers' comp giveaways for Big Coal, including $40 million for his old company. He even put coal bosses in charge of protecting our environment. Cecil Underwood's not working for us, and it's time for a change.
When you turn for news, sports, and entertainment, turn to 1430 WEIR.
I'm Margie DeFeedy. I grew up right here and know that news is important to the Valley. That's why I dig deeper to report breaking news you won't hear anywhere else.
Sports rules here in the Ohio Valley. High school, college, and the pros. You'll get it all on 1430 WEIR.
The information you need, the entertainment you want. Mike Donovan and Company. Weekday mornings, 6 to 9 on 1430 WEIR.
Turn to 1430 WEIR. Weekday mornings from 6 till 9.
Seeing is believing. On November 6th, watch for The One.
CBS Sports presentation of the NASDAQ.com halftime report is sponsored by NASDAQ.com, the information source for the serious investor.
On this first November Sunday, welcome to the NASDAQ.com halftime report. Jim Nance, Mike Ditka, Craig James. Earlier today, the Miami Dolphins won on the road behind Lamar Smith. They're now 7-2, Craig.
What's the deal here? Dan Marino would like to have a chance to run this offense with the running game they have right now. Jay Fiedler, because of Lamar Smith, looks like a pretty good quarterback.
And the Colts fall a game behind Miami. Surprised at Chicago as the Bears jumped in front 27-0 and then held on with a new quarterback today.
New quarterback, Jim Miller. They put him in. It's Miller time. He's going to be in there. He spread the ball around. When he had a chance to get it deep, he got it deep. Very accurate passer today.
Clutch play today by Steve Christie, a kicker, 48-yard kick at the end of regulation, sent it to overtime, then wins it in OT from 32 yards out.
Well, I tell you what, in Buffalo it is. It's Flutie Flakes time, my friends. Leave Doug Flutie in the game. Let him be your quarterback, Coach Phillips. Don't put Rob Johnson back in there. Because of the ability for him to move the ball around, Buffalo looks good.
For the fifth straight game, the Steelers did not allow a touchdown, but this time their win streak comes to a close. Titans win on a Del Greco kick, 29 yards, 4 seconds to go.
We talked about the Titans in the pregame show. They're resilient. They find a way to win. Offense, defense, special teams, they get it done.
Baltimore Ravens break out of a 3-game losing skid and finally find the end zone 3 times, in fact, today. All Dilfer touchdown passes, 2 to Shannon Sharp. The Giants, Collins threw for 3 scores, 2 of them to Amani Toomer. The Cowboys are swept on the season series by the Eagles for the first time since 1990. David Akers wins it from 32 yards out in OT. Meanwhile, the Saints, Jeff Blake today on fire. 3 touchdown passes. Saints have won 5 in a row. And Tampa Bay, well, Sean King threw 3 scores, 2 of them to Keyshawn Johnson. Tampa Bay moves above 500 at 5-4. We'll continue on the NASDAQ.com halftime report in a moment.
Friday, the fugitive becomes a hostage. You want me? You'll have to kill me. And you'll never guess what happens next. All new Fugitive. Then, the victim of the perfect murder
Here's his phone. What a rush.
is about to get justice. Who are you? An all-new CSI. And they survived the island.
Hey, neighbor.
But can these castaways survive a night with Nash? An all-new Nash after The Fugitive and CSI, CBS Friday.
CBS Sports presentation of the NASDAQ.com halftime report is sponsored by NASDAQ.com, the information source for the serious investor.
Welcome back, friends, to New York and our studios here, NFL Today Studios. Jim Nance with you on the NASDAQ.com halftime report, along with my teammates, Mike Ditka and Craig James. And, gentlemen, at halftime, the Broncos coming in off this bye, looking really good with Davis.
Well, they practiced hard. They practiced in pads. Davis has 80 yards at the half on 18 carries. Rishi's having a big day. It's a good football team. They're going to come back in the second half of the season. The schedule's pretty easy.
Yep, coming into this game 4-4. Let's take everyone around the NFL today. And the Raiders so impressive in the first half, especially the Gannon to Rison combo.
Oh, they work on this all the time. It's called the old tip and drill there. Hey, Ricky Dudley, his hands can't quite handle it. Andre Rison in the back of the end zone, but really Tyrone Wheatley running, and Rich Gannon is on fire.
2 touchdown hookups, Gannon to Rison. Meanwhile, Seattle has been out-yarded 3-1 by San Diego. Chargers self-destructing, though, 3 turnovers.
Well, here they get their touchdown after turnover. A fumble to get the ball to tight end Christian Faria for a touchdown. But I tell you what, Harbaugh's got to hold on to the ball. He fumbled twice, threw 1 interception. They're killing him in yards and losing on the scoreboard.
Out in the desert, the Cardinals just got into the end zone to start the second half. Michael Pittman scoring from 2 yards out. They ran the kickoff, second half kickoff back some 70 yards. Jeff George starting for the Redskins, no touchdown passes. He's been picked twice in this game. Now, earlier today, first play from scrimmage, Miami at Detroit. Here come the Dolphins.
Oh, you had a feeling for this game, Jimmy. You were right all over it.
Come on.
46 yards, first play from the game, and it starts out 7-0, and Lamar Smith looked excellent.
Hey, Jim Miller, first start this season for the Bears at quarterback. And Miller hooks up with Marcus Robinson and Chicago.
But he threw the ball to 8 different receivers, and they had a heck of a day.
And look at the Bills win it in overtime. Christie from 32 yards out. Flutie directed them to another victory.
And now we have Chicago at home. Rob should be healthy for that one. We'll just take it from there and go. We're thankful. We've got 3 out of our last 4, and things are looking up.
How about the poise of Tennessee down the stretch, Mike?
Well, I'll tell you what, this is a big play, 4th and 8. McNair gets it to Derek Mason, gets him in position for the field goal. Del Greco makes this one. I guess he missed 2 earlier in the game, but he makes it when it counts. They just find a way to win. This is a good football team.
Ends the Steelers' 5-game win streak. And the Steelers fall by 2.
After 21 quarters, Baltimore finally finds pay dirt, baby. Trent Dilfer rolling left. They're already up big. They're relaxed, playing well. Shannon Sharp, his second touchdown reception of the day.
Dilfer threw 3 touchdowns, and the Giants, Kerry Collins, threw 3 scores.
Big day for Kerry. 1931, 256, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Then in overtime, David Akers is going to get Philadelphia the winner with from 32 yards out, taking advantage of some Dallas miscues and regulation. Big win for the Eagles.
Season sweep over the Cowpokes for the Eagles. First time since 1990. And the Saints quarterback, Jeff Blake, 3 touchdowns today.
Boy, they really play good. Here he gets Joe Horn for a big touchdown. But they're playing great on defense. They're playing pretty good on special teams. And they're playing great on offense.
You're talking about defense. The Bucs defense showed up again today and slobber knocked Atlanta. And Sean King throws 3 touchdowns, 2 of them to Keyshawn Johnson.
Yeah, they knocked Chris Chandler out of the game with a concussion on a sack. Keyshawn, 3 touchdowns in 2 weeks. Second half's coming up. Thanks for being with us on the NASDAQ.com halftime report.
CBS Sports presentation of the NASDAQ.com halftime report is sponsored by NASDAQ.com, the information source for the serious investor.
CBS Monday. When the foster care system is accused of abuse, the family law attorneys are going to war.
The CFS is withholding documents.
But will a lawyer's passion jeopardize his case?
These people are more concerned with covering their asses than kids getting burned and beat.
You're talking about breaking and entering.
We all gotta do what we think is right.
All new family law, CBS Monday. It was the trial of the century.
Orenthal, James, Simpson, Keating.
They were the dream team. Stingrays.
I don't want to be talked to like a schoolboy.
Ron Silver.
You think the cops faked all the blood evidence?
Bruno Kirby.
Somebody manufactured evidence in this case.
And Christopher Plummer.
They're not going to have our clown try those gloves on. We don't want to know if they fit.
In the miniseries, O.J. doesn't want you to see.
When I mentioned the cuts on his hand, the good thing I didn't have blonde hair.
American Tragedy. CBS next Sunday.
Ladies and gentlemen, check it out, George. Back by popular demand. Check it out, George. Are they crazy? Once again. Oh, check it out, George. Ladies and gentlemen, check it out, George. Back by popular demand. Check it out, George. Are they crazy? Once again. Oh, check it out, George.
CBS Sports presentation of the NASDAQ.com halftime report is sponsored by NASDAQ.com, the information source for the serious investor.
We're at halftime in the Meadowlands. The Denver Broncos leading the New York Jets by a score of 20-10. The Broncos came in, and it has been a game of turnovers so far. The Broncos are winning the battle. They've turned Jets turnovers into 13 points and lead it by 10. And the NFL on CBS will continue after this message from your local station.
The King of Queens, Mondays on CBS. It's all here.
Hi, this is Chris Miller for Chris Miller Furniture. If your family is like mine, the cool fall air is sending us indoors early, and we want to be as comfortable as possible. So it's time to replace that tattered and worn-out sofa, chair, mattress, recliner, or just about any piece of furniture for your home. Well, come to Chris Miller Furniture's one-day warehouse and floor sample clearance sale this Monday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., where every item, wall-to-wall, is on sale. Plus, for this Monday, save 20% more off the low sale price. That's right. At Chris Miller Furniture, you will find Roy Hill sofas, $699, less 20% more. Lane recliners, $299, less 20% more. Serta twin mattresses, $79, less 20% more. And these are just a few of the many clearance bargains you will find this Monday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. In addition, you don't need cash at Chris Miller Furniture. Pay for your new furniture with nothing down and no payment till October 2001 and no finance charges for 2 full years. That's this Monday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Only at Chris Miller Furniture in downtown Wheeling.
Today, our children are forced to grow up too fast. Parents need tools to help them protect and nurture their families. We need filters for online content in schools and libraries, family hours for TV programming, character education in our schools, more effective drug prevention, tough school safety so children learn discipline and love go hand in hand, and more flex time for parents. I believe parents today need allies, not adversaries, to help raise moral, responsible children.
Now, why in the world would the coal industry come up with $500,000 for Cecil Underwood to help him get elected and then to help him throw an inaugural party?
The press finds $200 million in workers' comp giveaways for Big Coal, including $40 million for his old company. He even put coal bosses in charge of protecting our environment. Cecil Underwood's not working for us, and it's time for a change.
Tune in November 6th. We'll be glad to show you the one.
Along with Phil Simms, 20-10, the Broncos are leading the Jets at halftime, and although the Jets have been behind from the get-go, Phil, we haven't seen any semblance of a New York running game. Do we look for that in the second half?
Well, they haven't tried so far, Greg. I think a lot will depend on the Broncos' offense. If it continues to move the football and score points, I think the Jets will try to keep the game up-tempo, keep the spread the field, and throw the football.
Take a look at the halftime stats, and some of the numbers would seem to indicate that the Jets are fortunate to be within a 10-point game.
Well, they are. You know, you turn the football over 3 times, the other team gets 13 points off of it. Right there would tell you, not only would you be behind, you'd have a hard time winning the game, but the Jets, they're so explosive on offense. They're willing to take chances. You just got to be careful when you look at the scoreboard and think that maybe they're out of it, because they've shown too many times this year they can come from behind.
Well, Vinny Testaverde will get a chance to get his hands on the ball first because the Jets will receive to start the second half. Testaverde, 8 of 19 for 143 yards. No touchdown passes. He's thrown 2 picks, and he now has 13 touchdown passes, 13 interceptions on the season. Dwight Stone from the 7. 25 and slammed down at the 27-yard line by George Coghill, and let's check in with Armin Katayan. Armin.
Greg, I just talked to a rather heated Al Groh. He said enough of this cardiac kid stuff, enough of these miracle finishes. We've got to win this thing one series at a time, and the only way we do that is to play 30 minutes of solid football, but it's got to start right now. Back to you.
All right, Armin. Here comes Vinny Testaverde. Let's assess his first half performance, Phil. You know, at times he's looked terrific, and there are other times you know that they're going to say in the papers tomorrow, where was that throw going?
Yeah, well, I think that's the thing, Greg. There's a couple passes where there's indecision or wrong decisions either by Vinny Testaverde or the wide receivers, and somebody's going to have to own up to that if they lose this football game.
Curtis Martin up the middle to about the 30-yard line on the first play of the second half for a gain of 3, and it's 2nd and 7.
Now, just hearing Al Groh's comments to Armin Katayan tells me that Al Groh wants to come out here and get this game back in order. In other words, keep the running backs in the backfield a little more, try to run it, and then make your big plays with play-action passes instead of spreading the field so much.
This time it's Quebec in motion to the far side of the field, and Martin carries again. Running room, 40, 45, midfield. Oh, what a move. Dragged down inside the 35-yard line by Kavika Pittman.
That is a terrific job up front by the New York Jets. The Denver Broncos, when they gave up all those rushing yards to the Bengals, were just too aggressive on defense. This time, it's good blocking. Romanowski can't make the tackle. And then Eric Brown, the last line of defense, gets faked out by Curtis Martin and allows a big run.
You know, you mentioned it at the tail end of the first half when Kavika Pittman was hurt, how far downfield he was. He made that tackle after a 38-yard pickup. The Pitch for Martin. Right side. Following his blocking inside the 30 to the 28. Al Wilson made the stop. Curtis Martin came into this game with 644 yards rushing and another 245 through the air. He has been Mr. Everything for the Jets so far this season. In fact, for the last couple of seasons.
Well, I can promise you, every team that plays the New York Jets, the defensive coordinators and the head coach, the first thing they say about the Jet offense, we have got to stop Curtis Martin. Running the football, running draws, and catching screen passes. He does it all.
On 2nd and 7. Martin out in the pass pattern, makes the catch to the 22. Eric Brown, John Mobley converge on Martin to make the stop.
Now, you know, Greg, one thing I noticed as we watched Testaverde throw this football, when Denver gave up that long run to Curtis Martin, it wasn't the same mistakes they made against the Cincinnati Bengals and Corey Dillon. There, they just over-pursued, and everybody was just trying to make plays, which is the wrong thing to do. You've got to let the plays sometimes come to you. The Jets made that big run just with good blocks and good running.
Tackling was also a major problem against the Bengals 2 weeks ago for the Broncos. Quick drop, quick slant, that's complete to Curtis Martin. Boy, Curtis Martin all over the field, both sides of the field, making plays for the Jets.
I mean, it's just such a difficult thing to do. Now, most wide receivers do not make this adjustment in this catch. The ball is thrown high and behind the receiver. A defender's right there. At that time, it's John Mobley. Curtis Martin makes it look easy.
9-yard pickup on the play, 2nd and 1, and suddenly the Jets are at the Denver 12. Curtis Martin has garnered every yard on this drive so far. Testaverde rolls, throws, Quebec to the 10. And that's enough for the first down. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 10 for the New York Jets.
Well, let's take a look at Wayne Corbett. Haven't mentioned his name a lot so far today, but he's always one of the primary receivers for Vinny Testaverde, and most coaches around the league feel like that Wayne Corbett is still one of the best inside receivers in the National Football League.
See what the Jets have done in the red zone. 1st and goal. As the Jets threaten early, and Richie Anderson on the carry inside the 5 to about the 1-yard line. Billy Jenkins with the tackle saved the touchdown.
Well, when you watch this Jet offense, watch up inside. Kevin Mawai, nice seal block to the backside. That enables Richie Anderson to get by the defense before they can react to him. Look at Kevin Mawai, good seal block, then gets in the way of John Mobley just enough to let Richie Anderson slide by.
From the 1-yard line. Testaverde fakes, throws, touchdown! Anthony Beck. The rookie scores his first National Football League touchdown.
Here he is, number 88. When you get down that close to the goal line, I always say this. If the offense is willing to take a chance from the 1-yard line to throw the football on 1st down, then the defense give it to them. You've got to play run in those situations.
Testaverde under the gun with 2 interceptions in the first half, comes back and leads an opening drive, and the Jets are within 3.
Free to move about the country.
This new car was going to be different from anything Saturn ever built. It was going to be bigger, more powerful, more luxurious, more everything. And while creating an entirely separate plant may not have been absolutely necessary, it was the right thing to do. Welcome to the factory, the Saturn L Series build.
Can I help you? Yeah, I'd like a dozen mixed.
I highly recommend the cream-filled. 5 stars.
Well, now, if you like the cream-filled, you should try the eclairs, popular in France.
By the way, customers who bought eclairs also bought raspberry jelly donuts and bear claws.
Can I interest you in a book on donuts?
Amazon.com changed the way people shop.
I suppose you want these individually gift wrapped?
HP technology makes it happen.
In my day, we only had glazed.
Minion's mission is to stop all crime. But what if the crooks are cops?
I want them arrested. By doing this, you paint this entire department with the same brush. Get out!
The District, CBS Saturday.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Curtis Martin supplied the juice. Anthony Beck, his first NFL touchdown on the 1-yard catch.
Looks like Testaverde, doesn't it?
Yes, he did. An 73-yard, 8-play drive in just under 5 minutes, and the Jets are within 3. Short kick. Delva O'Neal from the 25-yard line. Shakes a couple of tackles and is run out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. Let's go back to the touchdown.
Well, let's look how the Jets score. Anthony Beck's going to sneak out of the backfield or the tight end position, get behind the defense for the score. The play action fake draws the defense up. You can see that's number 51, John Mobley, who goes for the run fake. And Mike Shanahan has told us many times that one of the problems with John Mobley is he's just too aggressive. You know, goes for that first reaction, and it gets him in trouble sometimes.
I wish you had explained it the way you did during the timeout. Every team in the league runs it.
That is called a national pass. Every team has that in on the goal line.
Brian Greasy. Terrell Davis flares out of the backfield, and Mo Lewis is right there to meet him.
Well, Mo Lewis, we talked to him, and then we see him. We talked to him on Friday, and the one thing he prides himself in, that I'm a linebacker. And when a linebacker, that means he can do it all. He can stop the run, he can rush the passer, and I can cover receivers. And you're right, Mo, you are one of the best linebackers in the league.
He said, I believe in doing whatever you ask me to do. Mike Anderson in the game. Greasy, quick drop, quick pass over the middle, and that's incomplete. Dwayne Carswell trying to break free just across the line of scrimmage, but wasn't looking.
Well, he wasn't looking because he didn't see the blitz. Chris Hayes, the safety, was coming from Brian Greasy's left. Nobody could touch him, and Brian Greasy knew he had to get rid of the football quick.
So now Greasy looking at 3rd and 11. Terrell Davis comes back, and the Jet fans get a little more height. Greasy, a deeper drop. Now on the run and room to run. Penalty marker is down in the backfield across midfield. He slides down inside the Jet 45-yard line, and let's check the flag. 21-yard pickup is going to come back.
Holding, 62 offense, 10 yards. Repeat, 3rd down.
Right guard Dan Neal, the guilty party.
Well, let's see if we can pick up number 62, Dan Neal. Here he is. And he's got that hand. Oh, yeah, that's a nice hold. Sean Ellis, number 92. Anytime you put your hands outside the arms of the rusher, and you keep it there and you don't remove it immediately, they're going to throw the holding flag.
If you believe in giving credit where credit is due, that was a nice hold.
Yes, it was.
3rd and 21 for the Broncos. There's a flag, and on draw, Terrell Davis across the 30. And James Ferrier jumped, in which are going to have to consider a really dumb penalty.
Offside, 57 defense.
Oh, it's 57.
5 yards. Repeat, 3rd down.
Mo Lewis. I mean, there's almost no reason to jump on that play.
Well, you know, Mo Lewis is sitting there going, you're right now.
Now.
But when it's third and long and the crowd was making noise, you're thinking they're going to throw it, and I got a chance to really sell out and get to the quarterback.
So it's 3rd and 16. On the blitz. Greasy gets rid of it. Incomplete. And the Broncos will have to punt. 91, Jason Wiltz led the charge of a fired-up Jet defense.
Big series for the New York Jets defense. As the game is going on, the Jets defense is gaining confidence and becoming more aggressive, and the Broncos are not, well, they're not doing a good job of fighting off that aggressiveness.
It took us to 8:16 of the third quarter before the Denver Bronco offense went 3 and out. Ruin pulls down the high snap and gets the kick away. Bounces inside the 35, and Ward was able to fall on it and almost didn't get a chance to corral it. 38